Alright, hello and welcome. This is my Skull Blaster here in Unity. Here you've got the player and these zombie stars. These are going to be the enemies, in which whenever you run into them, the player will be destroyed. And to make this happen, created a health script. And right here we are declaring our max health and our current health. This is going to set the max amount of health that we can possibly give. So in the future, for whenever there's a health collectible or something, to where when we collect it we're going to add health back, that's when we're going to really use this. And this current health is going to keep track of what the player is at, so that whenever it reaches to 0, the player dies. And here we are at the start. We're going to go ahead and set the current health to the max health so that you begin at full health. I feel like that's just fair. Alright, here in this fixed update, this is just to go to the console log. This is going to say what the HP currently is. This is for if we hit an obstacle. This is not set up yet, but if we hit an obstacle that's going to reduce HP instead of just killing it all the way, then that's where this will come in, and it will display that. Only in testing, of course. Alright. So here, this is for whenever we're going to get that health collectible that's going to heal it. This is not set up yet, but what we do have, here's another one for whenever we just take a little bit of damage. Now, this we do have set up. This is our death component. So this is where we're going to go ahead and call this script right here, so that we make sure that we have all of that available to us. And here we're going to check if the death is there and the current health is either less than or equal to 0. Go ahead and call that death function. And then it's going to give this little script in the console saying, you've been eaten, you'll be missed. Right here, this chomped is the function that actually calls the death whenever you have been chomped by the zombie star. That will be whenever your player comes in contact with the zombie star. Whenever you collide with it, it will then trigger that to happen. And it'll go ahead and set your health to 0 while it's at it. So, here attached to the player, this is a child of the death component. This is where we created the die function to destroy the player. This is that die function that is actually right here. So this is where that's created, and here's where it's called. This is just a check to make sure that the collision was in fact working with the zombie star. It says if when it touches, it's there. And of course, if the collision's not working, that won't show up. Now here, this is going to say if health is there, then we're going to go ahead and call the chomp function. This is inside this on trigger enter 2D. So whenever it touches that zombie, call this chomped function, zombie star chomped your brains. Now if it doesn't find this component, the health component, it's just going to pull up a message, poo, I didn't get it, and it's not going to work. And this is where we went to find that function in the beginning. And here, in player controller, is where we needed to add a rigid body 2D component to our player pawn. Now, that is in here. Let's see, scroll down. Here is where we can set our max health, and just for testing purposes, we can play around with our current health. We'll change that to private later. we have a collider activated, so this is a polygon collider. This means that as soon as anything comes within this that is also a collider, then it will trigger the collision. Now this rigid body 2D component, this is what lets the player run into one of these and actually interact with it. And this is where what we were calling with this right here. Alright, now our zombie star. Let's see, here is our zombie star. This is our enemy. Here we have this polygon collider attached to it. So this is going to allow the player to come in contact with it. Alright, so let's pull this up. This game right here, made with Unity, and we have all of our little functions here. We fly around however we want. As soon as we come in contact with it, bam, you're dead. That's it. Alright. Thank you.